I'm sure everyone at some point has watched an NFL football game, where it was a Super Bowl, a random game at Buffalo Wild Wings, or a Sunday game at a family reunion. You may like it, you may don't. In my case, a year ago, if you had sat me at a TV with a football game on, I would just have stared at my phone. But American football has always been a part in my life. My dad is a #1 fan of NFL, and my best friend is a second biggest fan. And in general, my entire friend group has always enjoyed watching the games. Yes, in my case, I didn't understand why I didn't like it, if it was always present in my life. I don't know if I was just wanting to llevar la contraria or what, but I couldn't stand it. Everything changed once I arrived here to Monterrey, which was almost at the same time that the actual NFL season started. I got here to Monterrey and I started to live with my best friend, and when the game started, I watched the first one with him. It was the same as always. I watched the game, but I didn't really watch it. I didn't understand what was going on. The next week, I decided to actually watch the game with him, and I, for the first time in my life, enjoyed watching not only an American football game, a sport. That's when I discovered all the world that opens once you watch NFL. For me, the first door that opened, it was a new type of bonding with my best friend. In general, I didn't think there could be even more connection between me and my best friend, but because we like all the same things except American football. Once I started watching, he became like a mentor to me. And also there was a big coincidence that both of our dads were 49ers fans, so we were raised in that environment of the 49ers. So we were in the same team. He taught me everything, he explained to me everything about the NFL, so we could break a new barrier in our friendship. The second door it opened to me was bonding with my dad. I have a pretty normal relationship with my dad, but there was always a line between us because he's the biggest sports fan, and I have never enjoyed watching sports. When I started to live here in Monterrey and he was still back in Torreon, and our communication was pretty boring, just how are you doing, fine, and that's it. Once I started to watch the NFL, our bonding became much more closer because we started to, for the first time, actually like the same, something we both like. So it opened that door. Also, start watching the NFL opened a new type of a connection with the people I already knew, like new things to talk about, new things to do together, and not only with the people I already knew, but it opened new doors for meeting new people. For example, in a random tech class, we could, for example, it was Thursday and it was 7 p.m. class, and I saw someone start to watch the game, and it could like start a conversation. Also, the NFL opens like it makes you feel a part of something by the team you go to, and also not only with okay. Also, I think I like a lot about the NFL is how it's not just, I used to think it was just a guy throwing a ball, someone catches it, and touchdown, and that's it. But no, the NFL is much more complex than that, and I could understand it after weeks and months of watching it week by week. Also with the help of Carlos, which I told you, like, he was my mentor. And for example, there is a war between the teams in the NFL. There's divisions, there's rivalries, and it's very complex, and much more when you start betting. It becomes a very fun world you get into. And also not only that, one of the things I enjoy most about watching the NFL is once you start recognizing and liking individual players, not only teams. I have always been like fan of artists and like singers and that, and I never understand how someone could like Cristiano Ronaldo or things like that until I started watching the NFL. And while watching the game, I saw someone who make a pretty good catch and then make a funny dance, and it was like I like him, and I started following and seeing him across the games and paying more attention to individual players, and I started to like it much more. And for all those reasons is why I think everyone should start watching the NFL. It opens a whole new world, whole new friends, connections, and things to like